I want to come on here real quick and I actually want to talk about what it means to have unconditional love or what it means to have conditional love. Now, before I get into that, I've been a little bit busy as far as my personal life goes. It's finally come to light. It has finally come to light. I finally got my blue car. You feel me? Now, I just got my car like literally yesterday, so I'm ecstatic. I'm through the moon about it, and it's definitely something that I've been manifesting for a long time. When I think about my car, when I think about other people driving the same car that I have, I'm very, very happy, and to finally be in the driver's seat of where I was talking about or be happy for other people to finally be in that position, it's a great feeling. But with that being said, that's a great segue into this video. Me, as an unconditional, loving, divine being, I have unconditional love for the people who are in the position that I want to be in, okay? Unconditional love is loving without limitation. Unconditional love is being able to give a part of yourself to other people as them being yourself. As we know with the highest frequency, love is the highest vibration. Love is the highest frequency. Love is the most dense and pure frequency. In order to bring things into physical life, you must display and emit unconditional love. You gotta realize that you don't come out the womb loving conditionally. There is no such thing as conditional, unconditional love. Conditional and unconditional love are learned traits, and through unconditional love, you can allow yourself to be the most purest and happiest being that you could possibly ever be. It's very important that we understand the distinction between what it means to have conditional love and unconditional love. So you have conditional love, but you can't have unconditional love. You are unconditional love. You came out the womb being an extension of God's love, of God's split image. You came out of the womb being an extension of God, therefore making you, in a sense, God. God doesn't care about your ego. God doesn't care about your persona, your social masks, or any of the masks you put on for society. God doesn't care about loving things conditionally, loving things under certain stipulations. God loves no matter what it is, who it is, or what it presents itself to be. See, unconditional love is one of the most, if not the most beautiful thing that you can have for another person. I can love you so much, okay? I can love you so much and give to you as I would give myself. It doesn't matter who you are or who you present yourself out to be. I love you unconditionally as though I would love myself, okay? And even when we talk about relationships, there's a difference between having unconditional love in a relationship and having conditional love in a relationship. Having conditional love in a relationship is being that you only love the person based off of your definition or this conforming to a specific image that you want them to be. Don't love your partner or don't love your person, your significant other, under the condition that they are able to meet this, and that, okay? Loving your partner is loving them no matter who they are, or what they present themselves to be. But you can ask yourself this question: does unconditional love actually exist in a relationship? Because in the case that this person didn't meet the standards of who you wanted them to be, then do you actually love them? And it comes at a point in time where we have to start to ask ourselves these questions. If the situation was different, would you love your partner? If they looked a certain way, would you love your partner? And this is why it's very important. In order to love other people, you must love yourself unconditionally. You must love yourself with no limitation. You must love all your flaws. You must love all your fat. You must love your jelly rolls, your fat rolls. You must love the pimples, the acne on your face, as you could probably see on me. You must love your dark skin. You must love your light skin. You must love your white skin. You must love your feet, your legs, every single part of yourself. That is loving yourself unconditionally. Because what we must realize is that we are not this flesh and bones, okay? If you strip away every single thing that makes a human, what is on the inside? It is God's invisible love being projected into a physical body to express creation. There is no such thing as being a human, okay? Because humans are bounded by conditional love to some extent. No matter if you're in a relationship or not, I only love you unconditionally under the condition that you don't cheat on me or disrespect me. That's not unconditional love. That is conditional love to the highest extent, but it's not unconditional. To have unconditional love is to treat myself with the utmost care and respect, okay? Loving myself unconditionally is knowing that I love myself so much to the point that I don't want to put myself in a position to be hurt by others, including myself. Because what many people fail to realize is that we tend to hurt ourselves through our own actions and through our own thought forms and thought patterns. And because of this habitual nature of hurting ourselves, we tend to fall into these cycles of regret, suffering, and anguish. And as a quote-unquote ex-fat person, people who talk about you being fat phobic, people have coined these terms as a form to cope with the fact that maybe sometimes people don't love themselves as much as they say they do, or to be accepted by other people because they don't want to accept themselves. When you're about something, you don't need to talk about something because it is going to be emitted throughout your day-to-day life. You don't have to talk about it when you are about it, okay? And with that being said, the problem with people is that we associate so many negative connotations to the words and to the phrases that we use on a day-to-day basis. And the way that I project myself, think about it. Every single thing you do, every single thing you say, everything you do on a day-to-day basis has a label. If I look a certain way, I'm fat. If I look a certain way, I'm skinny. If I look a certain way, I'm black. If I look a certain way, my hair is dreads, okay? It's just like every single thing we do on a day-to-day basis comes from some form of conditioning, some form of conditional love. And what unconditional love teaches us is that we aren't bounded by limitation. We aren't bounded by anything that the world wants us to be. We aren't bounded by limitation by any extent. And we can allow ourselves to love ourselves unconditionally and love others unconditionally. And in its simple nature, it is duality. Okay, for every man, there's a woman. For every high, there's a low. For every fat, there is a skinny. For every conditional love, there is unconditional love. And I choose on a day-to-day basis to remain within the scales of positivity, but then to remain within the scales of unconditional love. But where there is left, there is right. And sometimes you must, or you will be subjected to having to cater to both sides. Let me give you an example. If I look at myself in the mirror and say, I'm beautiful, despite me not really loving my flaws, quote unquote, our flaws, I can still say in the mirror, I'm beautiful. I love myself. And that's showing myself unconditional love, despite my conscious reasoning mind of all the agreements that run my world dictating how I view myself. But in essence, if it wasn't for society controlling the narrative of how we should view ourselves, then there is no such thing as flaws. Because all a flaw really is not fitting within a social norm. And when there is no social norm to hold you back, what is actually a flaw? See, everything works in divine absolution. Everything is perfect. And as a society, we subscribe ourselves to the idea that we are not perfect. So with that being said, we have to allow ourselves to fit within this new mold. Not a mold, but a mold of unmolding, if you will. And in a way, our idea of conditional love can be parasitic, okay? Sometimes we need conditional love, but many times conditional love is overridden by unconditional love. And in the book, The Mastery of Self by my favorite my favorite author, Don Miguel Ruiz Jr., he talks about the parasite and the ally. To have unconditional love for you is to have unconditional love for myself. And to have unconditional love for myself is to have unconditional love for you. I may not necessarily like you for whatever reason, but I love you unconditionally as a form of expression for myself. So in essence, the main topic of this video is to love yourself. Love yourself unconditionally as though you would love everyone else, okay? Pleasure is temporary, but love is eternal. And when we allow ourselves to love ourselves eternally with eternal light, love, peace, balance, joy, abundance, and healing, we can never lose. We can always love ourselves unconditionally. But with that being said, I love myself through you. Again, I just got my car. Feel me? So I'm ecstatic about that. And I just want to talk about some of my experiences with conditional, unconditional love through the book, again, The Mastery of Self. And with that being said, I love myself to you. We're going to rock out. Have a beautiful, blessed, productive, and successful day. And remember, the goal of life isn't just to be infinitely great. It's to be greater than infinity. Peace.